Nirmala Gupta ma'am to introduce today's speaker. Madam, over to you.
Hi, sir. Thank you. So thank you, Revan sir. So I first of all welcome Mr. Gnanateja Bandi, who is a research associate DPIIT, and he's a chair on IPR. So I would like to introduce today's speaker for the day. The Gnanateja sir finished his master's in pharma from JNTU and his LLB IP honors, intellectual property honors from IIT Kharagpur. And Sari is being qualified as a patent agent with the number INPA 3704 and has extensive experience in patent drafting and filing for the national and international phases, along with patent and IPR in his areas of research. And also it includes the protection and promotion of geographical indications, cyber law, design protections. So we are very happy to have you with us, sir, today as a speaker to give a session to all our faculties and the students on why the IP, intellectual property, is important in academia. So I once again welcome on behalf of SV Group of Institution Management, Principal Sir, IIC convener, the team IIC, and the whole SVC family members. So once again, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Now I request today's speaker Gnanateja Bandi sir to deliver the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Hope I'm audible. It's clear from my end.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, one disclaimer. So like as this is an online live session, so if you face any issue with related to my voice or else interrupting in the slides, kindly please let me know, sir. So
Yes,
that
sir.
I will come to know because of this technical related issues, etc.
Sure,
So,
sir.
yeah, I'll be start sharing my presentation, my slides, and one more thing to all the participants. Like if you have any doubt, you can just ask me at that moment, or else you can ask me even after the presentation as well. So I'm comfortable with anything. So let's keep this session more interactive rather than like delivering from one end, because like this is very important session, mostly with related to IP and academia. So without wasting any time, I would like to start now my presentation, and kindly please confirm me once you see my presentation, sir.
Okay, sir.
Hope you can see my slides.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
One second. I think it's still loading in my laptop. Actually, I can't see. Yes. Yeah. Hello, everyone. And first of all, thank you, Team SVCA and IIC, for giving me this opportunity to speak on intellectual property rights for academia. Actually, the topic for today's presentation is like why IP for academia. In the same way, actually, even we should know why even academia is more important for IPR as well. So not only like IPR for academia, but even academia, how it can be contributing for intellectual property rights law. Uh, Before going to that, our core topic, I would like to share few findings that recently it was published by the Parliamentary Committee on. Can you see my next slide? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think a little bit internet issues there. Yes, yeah. So this is a recent findings from the parliamentary committee actually. So that they have submitted this following data. I mean, like this is only one part from the data, but which constitutes about like all the intellectual property rights law. So not only about the patents, but even the designs, geographical indications, and also with related to traditional knowledge, trade secrets, and also like how the awareness initiatives are happening in India, and also what are the things or else what are the changes that we need to bring with related to intellectual property rights law in India. And mostly you could have aware or you could have read the news that okay, like there is an intellectual property appellate board actually, so which is like have been stopped now functioning, and then instead of that, okay, there are some special courts on intellectual property rights law have been introduced. So based on all these things related intellectual property rights things, actually they have mentioned and a committee have been constituted, and also they have mentioned their review report to Parliament. So in that, actually, if you look into the findings on, so this was like submitted on 23rd only, so 3 days back. So sorry, 4 days back. So if you look into this committee, the details of patent filings, mostly always like we will compare our intellectual property rights filings with related to two important jurisdictions. One is United States and one is China. Why? Because like China is always number one in IPR filings. I mean, not only in the IPR filings, but even the grantings of IPR as well, right? In the same way, next it was like followed by United States, and also Germany is also there in the line. But mostly we always consider with China and United States. But when we are comparing with China and United States, we can see clear data that okay, how behind we are. Like for example, in 2019. When you see they are like okay, 6 lakhs have been granted, sorry, 5 and 3 lakhs have been granted for US, and but only 24,936 patents have been granted in India. So leave about the grantings, at least look into the data of the filings. They are like hardly 56,000 patents have been filed. That's it. So like when you look into 4 different jurisdictions in India, Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, and Mumbai. So under 4 other jurisdictions, if you look into the patent filing categories, with related to mostly with institutions, it is like hardly you can say that okay, they're contributing only 10 or 20% of contributing filing contributions towards patent filings. But one more interesting finding is that when patent filings have been done, when you look into the top number of filings, so in the top level there are some institutions. So they are doing very well in filing, but only a very less number of institutions are doing perfectly good while filing. But there are more than 75% of institutions even where there is no single IPR have been filed. So not only about the patent, but let's think about the copyright or some other intellectual property right law. So you can see like 0 IP. So why? Because like there is the committee report even states that okay, there is no awareness related thing. But when as we all know that okay, from the last 2 years, so the drastic things that what we have observed is one important thing is that online webinars, and among that online webinars, each and every day, even at least I could see some of the other awareness which are related with intellectual property rights law mostly. So awareness on intellectual property rights law by so and so institutions or so and so organizations, etc. And there are thousands and thousands of IPR awareness initiatives have been there. But still, when looking into the IPR awareness initiatives have been zoomed up, still we can see that there are very less lack of patent filings from institutions mainly. So leave about the organizations, because organizations, they do concentrate on the research and development. It all depends upon the R&D units where they have established. But when you look into these institutions levels as well, even though there is like more number of awareness initiatives, but still we can see that okay, there are very less number of filings from the institutions. So why there may be less number of filings from the institutions, that we need to look into that. Is it completely because of lack of awareness? That we don't know. So because until and unless we communicate with the organizations or institutions, we would come to know. Second thing is that okay, like is it like because of the fee that they are filing fee? Is it like more when they are going to file a patent filings? So that we need to look with the academic persons or else the institution heads, okay, how they are taking it. And also like there are few observations that what I made is like when I'm interacting with the inventors from other different organizations as well, they do say that okay, like in institution or organization, I do like we don't know like okay, how many years we are working. So we may work for 1 year here or 2 years here, and then next we may go to other institute. So if, for example, if I apply patent in this institute, so what happens to my rights? Okay, so even those conflicts or else those what you call that okay, confusions are there in their mind. So there are many factors actually. So that factors can be addressed when we can have an interactions with academia people. So when it comes to the SVCE filings, we should know exactly, okay, what are the factors that are contributing, or what are the fears that academia people or else the departments are having. So that we can discuss even during this presentation as well. And then kindly please put all your questions, and don't think that whether it is a small question or else is it relevant or irrelevant. Kindly please put all your questions here, and then we can discuss. We can have a healthy discussions, and then we can come up with some good outputs as well. So this is what I would like to convey here. Yeah, and then going back actually. So when you look into the last, so I'm not going to deal or address with related to what is an intellectual property right law or what is an patent, what is an copyright, because as I said that from last 2 years we are keep on looking into different awareness initiatives, completely or purely concentrated on the awareness initiatives only. So almost each and every one from the participants could have attended a minimum of 10 sessions and also holding 10 to 20 certificates as well, like participation certificates from different webinars as well. So I don't think it is that important today for today's discussion to concentrate or else stress more on what is a patent, what is a copyright, etc. Obviously, I will touch a little bit when it is required. Even still, if you have any other doubts on that awareness initiative or else to know more about the patents from the department wise, we can in coming days we can have in separate sessions with related to department specific as well. Why? Because I'm stressing is that so like when you look into the department specific, you will be clear aware about okay what exactly an invention, so whether it will come under section 3 patentable inventions or not, etc. So, okay, so it all depends upon technologies as well. Yeah. And to add that, so two other more important things that we have observed actually during this lockdown period. So last 2 years, three important things. One, as I already mentioned, number of awareness initiatives or as webinar things, not only with related to IPR, but with related to all technical domains, right? Access to that webinars. And the second one is, there is a drastic increase of even YouTube channels as well. Okay, so there is a sort of pseudo, what you call that? Okay, knowledge sources. So even though they are not technically sound, but still they could have started their own YouTube channels, and then they have started earnings as well. Okay, so when you look into the earnings of the YouTube channels, so those guys earning will be even more or double or triple than me or else anyone else. Okay, earning a minimum amount. So even those the drastic number of YouTube channels. So this is relevant. Why? Because I will explain in the coming slides actually. Number of YouTube channels as well. And the third one is that there is inconsistency actually in the job market, right? So not only in the industries, even in the teaching field or academia also, we can see that no one is aware that, okay, so till when their job will be secured. Second thing is that with related to the salary related things, there are almost in all the organizations, there is like little bit of salary cut, or else there is no hikes in the salary with related to their industrial standards, or else even some of the institutes even didn't pay salaries for 2 to 3 months or 6 months as well. So these all are very important actually. Why we are discussing all these things? Okay, and the fourth most important thing is that okay, the awareness with related to what you call that? Okay, drugs or else okay, awareness with related to the treatments that targeted the COVID related things. Okay, you can see more number of research publications, more number of patents filed on the COVID related things. Okay, so there are even though there are many negative things in the COVID, there are few heroes as well. With related to mostly with that they are tagged with the IP only. You can see that okay, so and so person from so and so institution have been applied for a design for mask, or is a design for what you call that? Okay, a face shield, or else even there is an patents they have been filed for with related to not only with related to COVID vaccines, with related to breathing equipments. Okay, with related to what you call that? Okay, ICU equipments as well. So there are more number of inventions or else targeted inventions with related to COVID or else health related inventions have been increased. So this is one positive thing. That's it. Okay. So apart from all the negative things. So now directly I'm going to this our topic. When you look into IP and academia globally, when you look into the global data, there is no one institution from India even in top 100. Okay, leave about the top 10. So these are the top 10 universities worldwide in the patents when they are into the patent filings or research and developments. When you look into the top 10 also, there is even no single Indian institution is there. Okay, so the 100th institution is Shanghai University from the China. So it is having almost like 290 or almost like 300 patents that they have been filed in 2020. So we can see that, okay, so there is very much lack of what you call that, okay, IPR filing strategies in India. So do you think that, okay, we are not that much of capable? Obviously no, we do have so many capabilities, but the thing is that, okay, how we need to proceed, or else, okay, how and we are having many doubts in our mind, like with related to how what exactly we need to protect, or how long it can be protected, and what are the rights that I'm having on my protections. Okay, and also there is an interesting conflict also is there, okay, with related to institutions mainly. This is a recent observations by me, like there is a concept of patent publications versus patent filings and granted as well. Okay, even that we can discuss in coming slides. Yeah, so now when coming to the Indian top patent filers, okay, this is not about the top institution filings, but these are like top filings in IPR from all the organizations, okay, in combined. So when you look into the 1 and 2, so these are the two educational institutions are only in the top. So one is IIT and one is LPU. So IITs, all the IITs in combine actually, so they have filed around 600 patents. Sorry, not 600. Yeah, in combine, all the IITs have been filed 400 plus patents. So when you look into the LPU, Lovely Professional University, they have filed. So we don't know about the granting of that patents. We need to look. Okay, they have filed around 230 patents or something. So this is followed by Tata Communications and also CSIR and BHEL. So these are the like top 5 patent filers in India actually from the recent data. And when you look into that, okay, there are institutions as well. But the number of filings from the institutions are like 200, etc. That's what I said. So when you look into the top filings, there is an institution from India, but in total, almost 70% of institutions in India contributes only 0% of patent filings. Leave about the patent grant, even the patent filings are 0 actually. Okay. So yeah, now we need to look actually why IP is important for the academia. So when we look into in our olden days, okay, so like 10 years back, mostly with related to academia, we like more concentrated on the research and development only, right? So most number of publications. So we do calculate our calibers, or else we do weigh any person skills or calibers with related to academia, mostly with related to number of publications that have been there. Even now we do calculate in the same way. So one is that publications, okay. So we always tend to publish more. So publish more in the journals, okay, and then we look even for the more citations, etc., etc. And also we always think that, okay, the knowledge is what we need to contribute it for free actually. So it is not like, okay, we should not always think about Saraswati and Lakshmi, okay, like we should only always concentrate on developing knowledge, so which can give us Lakshmi. But if we keep concentrating more on the money, and we may reduce what you call that, okay, research skills in us, okay. So this is something is there, and also we always tend to give or else circulate our knowledge for free mostly, right? And I'm not pointing out it is wrong. Obviously you can circulate it for free, but how you can circulate it for free, there isn't something some particular way that, okay, how you can circulate for free. For example, we can take it, okay, we are having one property, let's take it, okay, a good land is there, and then you are no more interested in that, and then you want to what you say that, okay, you want to give it for free. One thing is that, okay, you can just like that leave that one, right? So because you are not more concentrating on that, or else you are not interested on that particular land, so you will not bother about that land, and you will leave like that. Any questions, sir?
ಬಾರು ಇದು ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಿಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಒಂದೇ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಈ ಫಿಗರ್ ಇಂದ 1 ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ADC ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡು.
Yes, we are in the example that, yeah, when we have any land that you are not interested, and then you want to make it, okay, you are not at all bothering about that land. So what happens is like, okay, you are not aware that, okay, who is using that land. So it may be like someone can be using that land for positive things, or else even for the negative thing as well, and you don't know the condition of that particular land. But when you register that land on someone XYZ, and then if you say that, okay, so this should be used only for particular old age home constructions, or else it should be only used for serving people, etc. So only it is limited to that people, okay. Even in this way also you are contributing to that society, right? In the same way, we can contribute our academia knowledge for free, but with some limitations. And how we can do it is like it can be happened even with the protecting under intellectual property rights law. So that is what I would like to emphasize here. The next one is that we always think that, okay, we need to contribute more in the research. Okay, once we come up with some research, okay, that's fine. Now it is done. The research work is done. Now, okay, let's concentrate on the other, contributing to extending of that research. But we are not bothered about the research that what we have generated now. So that we will leave to the public. Okay, they will take care, because now we are upgrading our technology, or else we are extending our research. So we will be keep on working on more research, but we are not worried, or else we are not thinking about protecting our research. Okay, so this is where we always lack actually. And the next one is that, okay, we always think that, okay, obviously the knowledge or else the research that we do is always, it should contribute to the economics of the society and also growth of the society. So if we keep that, okay, our research only targeted to the growth of the society, and why should I think about the economic related aspects here? Right, so let it contribute to the society, let the people get benefited. So these are the common notions that many of the academia people used to have. But one good thing what COVID had done is like, so when we look in the inconsistency with related to the job securities, so almost all the academia keep on thinking that, okay, what are the other sources of income, right? So when we look into our academia mainly, so only the teaching is one skill that we are having, or else the research and development is the skill that we are having, or else the technical sound knowledge of any one particular domain, that is what we are having, right? So now suddenly, if that opportunity is not there with us, okay, how can we contribute, or else, okay, how can we generate the income? Why? Because like the last 2 years have taught us very important things. One is like, okay, health is wealth. The second one is that, okay, even though sound health is there, that's fine, but even wealth is also important, right? So then when with related to the academia, or else with anyone, when you think about how we can generate income now, it is a big question mark. So like there are many people like who lost their jobs, and they are still like looking, okay, how we can explore the jobs, etc. So we should not wait for such things to happen. Instead of that, okay, how we can contribute our knowledge to generating an income, or else how we can keep a regular sort of income that can be generated through our academia related things as well, right? The next one is that why I have stressed on the YouTube related channels in the previous slide as well. So when you look, like many of the people lost their jobs, okay, they even do started something called as YouTube channels, right? So someone could have come up with cooking channels, okay, some started teaching their technical skills. Like for example, if you look into legal related YouTube channels, so someone started, okay, teaching on IPC for the students, okay, case laws, etc., etc. So in the same way, under each and every domain, you can see some other technical related YouTube channels are also flourished, right? Why? They thought that, okay, this can be and one more sort of income generator. That's fine. It can be created. But still, when I observe these channels, etc., so there is a lack of awareness on intellectual property rights law. So there are many, almost all the YouTube channels have been infringing an intellectual property right of one or the other. So these are the things even we need to know, even to start those things with related to academia. So for example, when SVCA college starts its own YouTube channel, and then it starts live streaming of one of the sessions, and then if you start sharing the slides of like for example, sharing a slides of one person who have been generated his presentation in somewhere else, right? You have copied the slides and you have been circulating that one. So whether this will be related to the copyright infringements or not, okay, so even these things are very, very important for the academia as well, right? So that's how, like, okay, now we need to think like, okay, how IP helps to make or else, okay, come up with economic related tags to our knowledge. That is what more important, and that is what we need to look. So when you look into IPR, intellectual property rights law, and also then academia contributions, so there are like, these are the sound inventions or else the companies that have been started by the professors only. So who are like, what you call that, okay, into the academia. So when you look into the top institutions that are contributing like Harvard, etc., okay, so almost all the professors are holding at least like 20 or else 15 number of patents each per head, okay. And I'm not talking about the publications, but the granting of that patent. Now look into Indian scenario, how many professors or else how many assistant professors are even filed any patent. So this is what we need to look. right? So for example, these are the inventions, like for example, lithium ion batteries. Now when you look into EV vehicles, so this is very important invention that contributes, right? So this is like an invention from one of the professors only. And also CRISPR-Cas9 technology. So this is a gene editing technology which is related, and it is like a blockbuster sort of inventions that are from the academia persons only. Even they have won the Nobel Prize of for this technology, for this patented technology as well. So there are, the Qualcomm is an institute, is a company like, okay, that have been started by professors. And also leave about all these things, the web camera. So in the 1991, even the web cameras that what we are using now for our communications, etc., which is most important during our lockdown time, is also an invention from the academia perspective only. So these are all the global contributions. Okay, so you cannot see any inventions that are contributed by the Indians here actually. So even though in India also there are very good number of examples actually where teaching or else the academia people have been come up with their own startups, and also they're doing very well. So one good example that we can discuss is like, I hope a few people may know him. So he is from the Christ University. So, and interestingly, his technical background, he's a professor from the English department actually from the Christ University, but he came up with his own invention on biodegradable straws, right? So this is a biodegradable straw, which is a patented technology. Give me 1 second. Yeah, this is a patented technology, and he got a patent on that actually. So he started manufacturing, and also the marketing have been reached to many countries till now, and his startup is doing very well with related to the economics now. So is one of the very good example with related to Indian perspective. So biodegradable straws from the professor from the Christ University is a 50 years old professor. So he got a patented technology, and also you may wonder that, okay, so this is a plant related material, but how could he able to get that? Okay, so that is how his technical inventions or innovation related to, and that is what the technology he could able to secure a patent on that particular technology, which is related to biodegradable straws, right? So with this, I would like to like share a few examples why intellectual property is very important. Not only to improve your what you call that, okay, resume thing, okay, so you need to always show our market that, okay, this many number of patents are there with me. It is always even related to the economic related aspects as well, intellectual property rights law. So now there are actually, when we talk about intellectual property rights, the first and foremost thing comes to in our mind is always patents, right? So even when you look into the strength of any academia, mostly with related to the institutions, okay, so when you look into their intellectual property rights filings, I'm not talking about the patent filings, but when you look into the intellectual rights filing audit, if you do in any institutions, so let's take it example of our own institution, SPCE only. So when you look into an auditing of your SPCE intellectual property rights law, so you can see the major share or else the only share will be the patents, right? So then there is something called copyrights where you can protect in academia. Actually, there is a huge scope to protect your copyrightable things. Okay, for example, if you come up with explaining of any table or else, okay, a graphical representation of so and so mechanism of something else, okay, any formula, etc., and then you come up with a unique way of expressing of that, even you can go for the copyright filing of that as well, right? So but how many copyrights have your institution or else any of the participants institutions is having is thing that we need to look. Patents, that's fine, okay, we are filing some patents, those are in the filing stage or else in the publication stage, it is in the examination stages, etc. So that's fine. The patent is doing a little bit, okay, it is moving a little bit pace. But thing is that, okay, how many number of copyrights are there? So copyright filing is not that difficult as that of patents. But why we are not concentrating on the copyright filings in academia purpose? That is what like open question to everyone that need to be answered by you people. Next one is design protections. So design is also a sort of design patents in India. So which comes under the design protection law, but it is not under the patent law. So it is having equal importance as that of a patent. So why there are like how many number of designs that we have filed? So designs is just like a thing that which is aesthetically appeal, that's it. So when you look into this last 2 years, there are institutions, educational institutions, and the students and also researchers from that institutions have been filed few design applications for the face shields and also face masks. right? So, but how many design protections that we have been contributing from to our institution or else from our institution? So that also we need to look, okay? And also the most important one more thing is that, okay, mostly with related to biotechnology departments and also with related to agricultural departments, new plant variety protections. So this is also an intellectual property rights law. So if any breeder come up with a new plant varieties, so they can protect their plant variety as a new plant variety protection. So how many are there? So leave about new plant variety because there may be like very less people may be known, but at least what about the design protections and copyrights? Okay, so how many that our institution is contributing? Why always we think, or else why always we concentrate on the patents itself? So how patents is technically so sound also contributes to our technical knowledge. In the same way, even the copyrights and also design protections do. And also like one thing that what I observed is like, okay, when IPR for the academia actually there is a sort of thinking from each and academia media perspectives. One, with related to the rankings of the institutions, with related to the points that they will be granted for the NAC accreditations, etc. Okay, so mostly they will look for number of patents or as number of patents published. So they may not look into the copyrights, but even the designs, you can include the designs as a patents only there as well. But we need to look, okay, how many number of designs that we are performing. Next one is that, okay, there are many institutions, they are like not aware that, okay, how to monetize their IPR. This is very important thing. So having an intellectual property right or else getting an intellectual property right is one important thing and very crucial thing. But thing is that, okay, how can you monetize or how can you generate income from your intellectual property right law? So this is also very important. So when the patent, when you look, it may take time for 1 year or 2 years of time to get a grant to pass all this process or prosecution stages. But it's not with copyrights or design protections. Okay, it may take maximum of 6 months or something to know whether your design have been granted or not, or copyright have been published or not, etc. Right. So my one request is to all the participants here, all the professors and teaching staff here is that, okay, kindly don't always concentrate on the patent filings only. Please do concentrate on filing of copyrights and also come up with the new design applications. Okay, so the grantings will be very fast. Patent may take, instead of getting a patent in 1-2 years, okay, you can file 1-2 designs as well, okay, in the meanwhile. Or else, for example, you are coming up with one patented technology. For example, one FER I am drafting with related to our institution only, which is related with a pressure cooker related invention, right? So that is a patent have been filed. But what about the design of that, the way how it look, the design of that particular equipment, okay, which is addressing that that issue. So why don't we file a design application for that as well? Patent always talks about the technical advantages or a technical invention related thing, but the how your patented or end product looks is also important same way, right? So because like you come up with one patent technologies and then by looking into that, okay, someone can come up with some other new design and then just they will file that design, okay, or else they will generate a new design and they will approach you only that, okay, why don't you use such designs? So we can have an assignment or else we can have an agreement between us. So that's how it works actually in the field. Why this is lacking is like, okay, as per my understanding is like, because academia is always keep on concentrating on the research and developments, that is very, very crucial and important, but they are not that much aware about outside the market, okay, how intellectual property is playing a key role in economic related things. So even such awareness is also very much important for us to discuss actually. Yeah, as I already mentioned previously that, okay, there is one more interesting concept with related, mostly with related to the academia people, is that, okay, IPR as a publication. So and also IPR as an asset. Mostly this is with related to the patents. So when you look into the patents, there are two categories of what you call that academia people actually thinking. One category will be keep on thinking like, okay, as IP publication is also a sort of one part of a paper publication sort of thing. Okay, why don't we publish IPR, intellectual property rights law? That is very good important thing as well, because like for example, mostly with related to your PhD works or else with related to the small projects that you are doing in your institution with collaborating with any student communities or else any innovation cells, etc. Right? So you come up with some findings yes, this is very important that, okay, you are not aware that it will be granted patent or not. That's fine. Okay, you can just go for the patent publications, and then if you are still willing to go for examinations, and then let's give and try for examination as well, right? Here, the number of patents have been published on that particular academia person will be keep increasing, and obviously it will help in their professional growth. Obviously this will add to their resumes as well. Only the patent publication sector, that what we're talking, but they're not concentrating on the economic part. Obviously patent publications cannot contribute to your economics directly. Indirectly it may contribute with related to your job changes, or with related to what you call that, okay, the preferences that you will get during your promotions, etc. So it can happen, that's it. Okay, but also we need to look that, okay, IPR or a patent as a publication, so how many number of applicants are there in their publications? Okay, so there is a sort of like, for example, when there is an invention that you come up in your institution, okay, or as a PhD work, you would like to file a patent for that, because tomorrow you are going to publish, present your PhD work, right? You are having the final Viva OC, which is in the public platform, right? Open Viva. So what happens is like, okay, you may think that, okay, so the knowledge may be like, we'll be sharing, and why don't I protect my PhD work under intellectual property right? That is a very good concept. And also like, I have few PhD people who approached me to file their PhD work before going to present their final presentations. And that is very interesting or strategical step that to protect their IP, PhD work as an IPR. Right. So what happens when you look into an inventor, the person who worked on that, or as the person who assisted, and their guides, 1-2 guides will be there. So there will be 4 to max 5 patent applicants will be there. That is fine. Okay. So when you look into patent of that particular publication, you can see that this much of contribution have been contributed by so and so person. But there are like strategies where people are approaching for filing of 15 people, 20 people for the publications, where they're working in any what you call that, okay, the research cell in or as a class students of 20 people who worked on small project, and then they want to file a patent on that. Obviously you can file a patent with the 20 applicants, but what is the use of that one? Like for example, okay, when you look into such patent publications, okay, how much amount of your contribution is there also you need to establish, right? So this is also one thing that we need to look when we are looking into patent publications part. Obviously it will contribute to your academia strength. Obviously it will contribute to your professional growth. It may contribute, so I'm not saying that it will contribute, it may contribute. It all depends upon, okay, how good you published your work and how good your PhD work is published, right? Economic way, no way it can contribute to economic in a drastic change, right? Now there is other set of category of inventors from the academia people. So they are very much keen and also they are very much concentrated to get their patent granted. So they are not talking about the publication part. So publication is just a small step that they want. That's it. So they will go for the patent filing. So patent will be published. They will request for the examinations, and then examination reports will come, and then we need to draft a reply to that examination, and then we are going for hearings, and then there is a chances that, okay, either patent may get granted or not, but at least they're giving their try. 120% try to get their patent as a granted, and this is very important step in academia. You may fail in your first patent, or you may fail in your 1, 2, 3 patents, but from the next patents, what happens is like the approach towards your patented inventions will increase drastically. So this is a very important thing. And also to my observations, mostly people are aware that, okay, under what domain they need to file their intellectual property right law, but how they need to file, or else how they need to approach their patent attorney, or else, okay, what is the content that they need to mention in that patent applications, or else how much we can restrict our invention related things in that patent application is also important thing. And also this is like a dilemma for many inventors actually. So these all things will come to clear when you have a clear discussions with IP attorneys. So what exactly the IP attorney is looking, or else what exactly the examiner will look when you file for a patent is important thing. So based on that, we need to work on our inventions. So when I'm talking about the patent related things. Yeah, so this is what actually, so how, or else like, okay, what are the requirements from the academia to contribute to your intellectual property rights law, or else to increase the strength of intellectual property? So I'm not talking about the patent only. So it's about all intellectual property rights law. So first and foremost important thing is that a good IPR policy from the management should be there actually. So we need to have a draft and one good IPR policy from the management side. This should address each and every issues. So this is an internal policy. So it all depends upon the academias and also it all depends upon the management. Okay, how they would like to draft their policies and also what are the contributions. Okay, how they would like to acknowledge the contributions of inventors. So whether so what happens is like when you look into I'm deviating a little bit. So when you look into then industries like for example TVS Motors or else any Biocon Labs, Bharat Biotech, etc., etc. So what happens is like when any inventor is contributing something, they do have their own what you call that, okay, they will have their own flexible related issues with related to, for example, inventorship, or also this will contribute to their economic as well. Okay, like they may not get so much of money, but there will be something sort of some sort of a token of appreciation will be given in some industries as well. Okay, or else many may not give that token of appreciation, but they will keep as an inventor, even though he or she is working in that institution, and if they move for other institutions as well. Okay, so the inventorship will be there. So it all depends upon the internal IPR policy that how any institution is making. Okay, so how to increase the number of, so the primary and the agenda is that, okay, to increase number of patents or IPRs, right, from the institutions. So how the research should be done. So how we can make the collaborations with other departments as well. Okay, so it doesn't mean that always only one department will contribute to intellectual property right law. So there can be collaborations with 2-3 departments as well for contributing to intellectual. So how that contributions or collaborations are happening. Okay, and also like they need to be like ready and open to discuss with IPR team, whosoever the IPR team. They need to get ready with all the data that what they would or what they are intended to file in the patent, and they need to be very much clear about that concept as well. So they need to be ready to disclose each and everything with an IP teams. Okay, so and first to file is the most important thing. So when you are coming up with any work which you think that it is productive and also which can be capable of a patent publications or patent grantings, just do approach your management and also start working on filing of your patent, because obviously the first to file is always very important thing. If you make late of 1 year or 2 years, so somewhere or someone could have come up with such same inventions, and you may feel that why I couldn't able to file that particular inventions. And this is the thing I observed more in the academia people actually. So they do, when we are having a discussion on FERs, where they cite that the recent patents that have been published, mostly they will see that patent which is old 1 or 2 years back, and they do say that, okay, this is the idea that we are having from last 5 years, but we couldn't able to take it forward. So kindly please, you need to push yourself a little bit, and then you need to start filing your patent application first. And the most important thing is the disclosures with related to your intellectual property. I'm not talking about the patent only, even with related to the designs or else the copyright related thing. You need to be very much clear about, okay, what are the things that you would like to disclose, right? And how much you want to disclose. And if you want to keep something as a trade secret, even that you can discuss with IP team, and also you can take a step actually. Okay, so and before discussing or having such discussions, every institution or organization do follow non-disclosure agreement between the party, IP team, and also the academia. So you need not to worry that, okay, when we discuss or start talking to any IPR attorney, so do they copy or else, okay, do they file that patent? So when they sign a non-disclosure agreement, they are not bound to disclose your any invention related to thing to anyone else, right? So you can be like very much comfortable to discuss each and every technical related things with an IPR team. That is how you can establish actually a strong intellectual property right. When it comes to the patent, the most important things that we always need to keep in our mind is that what is the background of inventions. So why? Because like during your awareness initiatives, we came up across this novelty concept, right? So it should be a novel in nature. It should not be published somewhere elsewhere in the world. So even though if it is, then how it is a technically advanced inventive step concept, right? So now when you start disclosing and about the background of the inventions or what are your observations, or else when you are thinking about the research with related to, okay, so this is what invention is there till date. And to extend to that, or else to address the issue causing by that invention, or else the issue that is which this a particular invention is not able to sort it out, that is where our invention is going to start working. So you need to come up with the background of inventions, how it is working, and also what are the advantages of your inventions over that already existing knowledge is very important thing, and also drawings. So how your invention is working. So those drawings, and also the labeling of the components. So each and every components you need to establish. And when it is coming to the product patent, each and every raw material that what you are using, and at what concentration, at what percentages we are using, and how or what that particular raw material or else a particular step or stage is contributing to your invention. This is very much important, and these are the things that we need to keep disclosing to an IPR team before drafting your patent. Then this will lead to come up with very good a draft, IP draft, and we can minimize the thing of examination report actually. So the questions or as the what you call the objections that have been raised in the examination report will be very much limited actually. So when you start drafting a good patent and when you start disclosing all your invention related things, right? Now, till now we have discussed about why IP are for the academia, intellectual property rights law, how it can be contributed, how it can show significance, effect on economics as well, right? Then what next actually? So we are very much clear that we can file a patent, but is it that when you file a patent and when you get protected of your patent, when patent is granted, is it mean that only you can use that patent? The answer is no. Right. So one thing is that you can come up and you can start your own startup, like a previous example that what we have seen in the Christ University example, that professor have started his own startup with related to that biodegradable straws. Next, what you can do is like you can collaborate with the people who are already there in that particular technologies. For example, you come up with any invention with related to electric vehicles, related to the battery system or a charging system of any electric vehicle, and you doesn't want to go alone, you want to collaborate, and then you need to start something. So you can collaborate with the like-minded people, and then you can come up with your own startup, right? Or else what you can do is like you can license your technology for a limited period of time to Ola Electric or else Hero Electric, whatsoever. So in that particular technologies, if you want to license it, or else you can assign to 4 or 5 people for to use that particular technology. That also can happen. And the last and foremost important thing, which I said, is like education is free. That's what we think mostly, like, right? So what happens is like you just get a patent or get a protection or else publish your patent and then leave it to the public, right? So now public can use it, but thing is that that patent or else the publication is always on your name only, right? So and then you are not claiming any rights and you are not interested to claim the rights on your thing, that's fine, but the name on that particular patent will be always on you, and then this will be well acknowledged actually, instead of inventing something and leaving it without claiming anything on you, because you may think that there may be what you call that extended researches will be happening on that, or else they may misuse of that particular technologies as well. So why to do that? So you just have a patent and then you can make it open to the public, and then that the public will take care of that, how they can use it. So always you will have a moral right on your published copyright or else published patent applications at any time. So this how we can actually categorize, or strategies can be maintained with related to intellectual property rights law, most specifically with academia. So with this, I would like to stop my presentation. So if you have any doubt, you can contact me with these numbers, or else you can mail me as well. And also, I'm open to the questions actually. If you have any sort of questions or doubts, kindly please do put forward here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Sir, I have a doubt related to PSG publishing or patenting, something related to PSG. You said no, sir. So
Yes,
what could be patented in that, sir? Either the process or the product?
Ma'am, so one thing, it all depends upon your PhD work. So whether your PhD work is related with the process or else whether it is related with the product. So there may be, for example, there may be some PhD works which are continuously working on COVID related drug, let's take it, okay, or else an Ayurvedic medical composition to treat COVID, right? So this is completely a product related thing. So they can file a product related patent for that. For example, if you want to file a process patent for that, you can even file that one as well, or else you can file both product and process as well in that claims as well. That also can be happen.
So, sir, is the see if we patent a process,
yes.
Then based on what they'll sanction the patent, sir?
Ma'am, see, process, for example, in India, we do have product patents and also process patents. So what happens is like the process, for example, now, let's take it, 1 second, ma'am. There is some issue with my system. Yeah. I'm talking about the process, right? Yeah. So when we are looking into the process, it always talks about, okay, what are the stages, okay, how you are going to achieve that product, right? So this is very important thing. You are not talking about the final end product of that, but you are only talking about the processes that are involved to achieve that product. So for example, same example I will, ma'am.
Sir, now I can hear you, sir. There was a glitch in the.
Okay, 1 second, ma'am. 1 second.
Sir, we are not able to see your presentation, sir.
Okay, 1 second, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah. Sorry. Actually, someone came calling bell. So I
no problem, sir.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thing is that so for the process, when we are talking about the process filing, so what are the stages that are there? Okay, what are the steps that are involved in filing, achieving that particular product actually, right? So these are the things that are very important. For example, you are using only the certain selective quantity of any raw material. Okay, certain selective quantity of what you call that chemical entities, right? So these all comes under the process related patents actually. So we are not talking about the end product that what have been achieved in that Ayurvedic related thing, but thing is that, okay, how can you achieve that Ayurvedic product or else any other product which is already there in the market? Like for example, I will take one more example. Now, if there is already established process to come up or to make a product to the market of 1 ton in 5 or 6 days. Now you came up with a new process in which actually you have able to what you call that, okay, manipulate, or you can able to come up with some advanced technology where the process have been developed more, and then within 3 days only the 1 ton of that product have been achieved. So this process can be patented actually. So we are not talking about the end product there.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So how we are achieving that product is the process, right? So that process steps can be patented. If that process are not patented till now. So we need to look that prior art as well.
Okay. Sir, I just have one more question.
Yes,
so what are the steps involved to get a grant of a patent, sir? Like first we will apply, then it will get published, then we have to go for the examination. That is not physically,
yes,
right, sir? Then
yeah.
after that, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I will just explain it. One thing is that, okay, once you file a patent, there are 2 stages actually. So 2 different routes, not stages, 2 different ways. So once the complete application is filed, so it will be published actually in the domain. But thing is that it will take so much of time. Okay, it will take 18 months of time.
Sir, is it that any patent that we apply will get published?
Yes. Yeah. Any patent, whatever the patents that what we apply will be published, but thing is that we need to submit complete specification, and also we need to then what happens after submitting the complete specification, after expiry of 18 months, it will be automatically published, But there is one more concept called as request for early publication. So when you request for an early publications, so that there will be separate fee for that. So when you pay that particular fee to the IP office, so your patent will be published within 1 month. So it's maximum 1 month. Okay, it may take within 1 week. Some patents will be published. Some patents will be published in 2 weeks. So maximum you can keep it as in 1 month of time. So that can be published. So once it is published, it is not like an publication. So publication is 2 categories. One, either you can request it, or else without request also it will publish. But for examination, we need to request. So kindly please do examine our application. So once we request for an examination, so the examination report will be delivered to you. So once you look into that examination report, in that objections will be raised actually. So mostly with related to the novelty thing, non-obviousness thing, and also industrial applicability, and also with related to section 3. So all these objections will be mentioned in that. So what we need to do is like within 6 months of time, we need to reply to that examination report with what you call that, with all the justifications, okay, why our patent is novel, or why our patent is inventive in nature, and how it is applicable industrially. So or else how it is not, how it doesn't come under section 3A to section P, right? So these are the things that we need to furnish in that, and we need to submit a reply within 6 months. So someone will submit within 1 month, someone will submit in 3-4 months. So it all depends upon the technology as well. So once we submit that, what happens is like the hearing will be there, patent hearing will be there. So if the examiner is not satisfied with the answers that what we give, he will call for the patent hearing. So patent hearing can be happen either physical mode or else in the online mode. So by keeping all these situations in mind of COVID, etc. So mostly the hearings will be in the online mode only. So we can attend in the online, and then we can still more clarify the doubts that what the examiner is having on our intellectual property right. So based on that, within 1 or 2 months, either your patent will be granted or else it will be rejected. So if you want to challenge this grounds, we can still go, we can apply to the High Court, and also we can approach Supreme Court as well. So till the Supreme Court, we can go to challenge this controller's decisions as well.
So there is no physical examination of the product at all, sir?
No, ma'am. There is no physical examination of your product. Yeah, no.
Okay.
So your document should furnish all the details with related to the product. When you're talking about the physical, even though we are not showing our physical product, but it should represent in the document in the form of diagrams and also in the form of descriptions. So how each and every component of that particular product, and what are those components, and what are the ratios of that particular components, and how it is contributing to that product finally. So these all things should be well explained or established in that particular patented document.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Participants, if you have any other questions, you can ask the speaker, sir.
I think someone raised a hand, sir.
Yeah, sir. Hello.
Hello, yes, sir.
Sir, good evening. This is Srishal. Again, the Venkateshwara College of Engineering faculty.
Yes, sir.
It was night presentation, and I have small doubt,
Yes, sir.
clarification of the doubt regarding the patent.
Yes,
I think
sir.
I'm audible to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear, sir. Yes, sir.
It is just it is a olden theory. For example, you say around 3 to 4 decades back, that method or the product they were using earlier
Yes,
is obsolete. It is no more existing now. And while they were using it, it had no technical background. Today, what I wanted to do, I want to give slight technical touch with that and do small modification with the existing product. Is it possible to go for the patent? If it is so, what type of patent we can go for? This is my small doubt.
Good question, sir. So one thing is that if I'm not wrong, you are asking that, okay, the technology is already existed thing, but thing is that we came up with a new or as a extended technology or updated technology of 1 or 2 steps with related to that process, right, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So now we can get
actually one thing. Just let me clear one little more.
Yes, sir.
And it was used in the villages earlier. It is not in the cities, and it is obsoleted. Actually, it is no more. It is not in the use, and people also forgotten that theory. So I wanted to give slight technical touch with that and do small modification with the product.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Perfect, excellent. So now thing is that when any inventor, even I also, like, okay, sometimes I will be keep sitting, because while drafting the patents I will be looking into many different technologies. So some weird ideas also I used to get actually. Okay, so such concept I can go for file a patent, or else can I look into such patents? Okay, and we do always think that whatever inventions or whatever ideas comes to our mind is a blockbuster sort of thing. Okay, so there may be blockbusters within us, or else they may not be. First important thing that what we need to do is, like, we need to look into the prior arts, and obviously you are very clear in that, sir. You already said that the prior art is already established, it is already there, it traditionally, but thing is that we don't know whether it is still in the documented form or not. Okay, so
Yes,
first
sir,
thing
yes,
is that,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
first thing is that when you look into establishing, okay, prior art, so it always, it says as per the Patent Act, okay, we always Indians follow the strict prior art. Okay, so which means that, okay, it should not be established elsewhere in the world in the written document, not only in the written document, even in any other form as well. So for example, okay, there may be video form also, or else there may be a traditional knowledge where people have already known. Okay, they will issue an affidavit that, okay, this is the practice that we are following, or else there may be some documentary evidences somewhere else. That's fine. So we are, but here we are not talking about that technology to be patented. So now you are very clear that, okay, you want to extend that research, or extend that product or technology little bit more. So we need to look that, okay, such extension or such additions of the technology is well qualified to be a patent or not, is the thing that we need to look. And then if it qualifies all the filters under the Patent Act, as per the inventive step, novelties, and industrial, obviously industrial applicability will be there under section A to P. We do can establish, and we do can file a patent and get a patent on that.
Okay, sir.
So it all depends upon the technology and how smart we draft that patent.
And after screening through all these process, for example, if it is patentable, what kind of patent we can go for, sir, actually?
So this is a product patent. Yeah, this is the product patent. That's what you are talking. Yes.
Okay, method or a product we can go for.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
Participants, any other questions? Any other questions or any other clarifications needed regarding the patent? You can ask the sir.
Yeah, so not only on the patent, sir, I want to stress again and again that, okay, kindly please don't concentrate only on the patents. Please do concentrate on other IPRs as well. Even those things will contribute more actually in the academia.
Yes, sir.
So with related to design protections, with related to the copyrights, and also plant variety protections mostly. So these are the things will be added to academia mostly. So trademarks, even though trademarks also you can concentrate, but trademarks is always for the branding. So if you come up with any startups, or else if you want to, like, file a trademark for your own department, a logo or etc., obviously you can go for that as well. But it is like it is not that technical contributions required for that actually.
Yes. Sir, one more small question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, the one who is pursuing PhD.
Yes, sir.
During the stages of his research work, suppose in case if he has already published some journal papers on the concept he is working.
Yes, sir.
So finally, after completion of the research work, he may think that I should go for patent filing.
Yes, sir.
Is it possible, sir?
Sir, so this is not possible actually in India. So when you look into US, in US, in Germany, in Sri Lanka, there is a different concept actually. So there is a 1 year of time. So for example, any researcher, any inventor, only the inventors, if you published your patent somewhere on your own website, or else on some other domain, etc., within 1 year you can file a patent. Okay, that is acceptable in other jurisdictions. In India, as I said, that it is a strict novelty concept until and unless there are actually few exceptions with related to publications under certain conditions, like any other governmental related publications, or else, okay, if you published internally with related to your guide, etc. Okay, so such exemptions may be there. But when you start publishing your paper on other domain, okay, open public platform, it is already into the public knowledge. So you can file a patent, but thing is that it will strike under your own publication by the examiner. Actually, they say that okay, this is already published work. Now the next question may come into our mind is that okay, how can we overcome this? So
Yes, sir.
one important thing is that what we can do is like okay, so when a person file his patent initial stage, sorry, publication, he filed in during the initial stage, but when any PhD works comes to the later stages, obviously there will be a lot of changes, a lot of modifications, lot of observations will be there, right? So he can pick up some observations or some of the updates that what he or she not mentioned in that patent published paper. With that, okay, if they are well qualified to get a patent or eligible as an invention under the Patent Act, we can go for patent filings.
Okay.
So it all depends upon the case-to-case basis and technology to technology basis. But in straight or straight sense, in a straight answer, if anyone asks me that it is already published, so obviously it may not get a patent. It will get an objection during the examination stage.
Okay, sir. Sir, regarding for academia.
Yes, sir.
If you want to make some policies related to the innovation or the startup like that.
Yes, sir.
So are there any specific guidelines available from the government to make these policies, sir?
Sir, so policies, as we all know that, okay, policies always depend upon institutions to institution or organization to organizations, and also like what they are intended to achieve actually. So with that policy aspects, so it all depends upon their internal structures, right? So there is no standard form or formats, but from the National Law University and from the IPR chair, we can guide you to frame the institutional policy frameworks with related to the IPR. So that can be done because like we have drafted few IPR policies for few of the institutions and also few organizations like TIFAX, etc. So thing is that there are such like NLSAU or DPIT chair, and also there are other organizations which can guide you or help you during IPR policy draftings. But there are no standard formats or something. The only thing is that okay, each and every concept of intellectual property should cover in that. For example, when so important question is that okay, so any one department, now for example biotechnology department of SVCE came up with one invention and then they want to file a patent, and there are 4 inventors in that. Now thing is that from that 4 inventors, 2 inventors would may join some other institution, or they may go for higher educations after 1 year. Now they will have their own doubts in their mind that okay, what happens to our inventorship when we file a patent? Okay, so how you going to address that things? Whether this inventorship will be with them, or else whether this complete rights will be with the SVCE, or else okay, so whatsoever with the institutions, okay, not only that, or else okay, how you are going to compensate them. So these are all the things, okay. How do they approach intellectual property rights, okay, what is the budgets, etc. So these are all the internal things that will be incorporated in the policy. So it all depends upon your organization to the organization, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Any other questions, participants?
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I have a question regarding design protection.
Yes,
like, can you just elaborate with a few examples, sir, other than the mask? Like, how can we think about the design protection?
Perfect, ma'am. May I know what is your department, ma'am?
Sir, I'm actually from basic science, chemistry.
Chemistry, okay. So
just for understanding, sir.
Yeah, fine.
I can think of later.
Exactly. So I will come up with the example from your department, chemistry only then in that case. Now, for example, now you can see mostly like tonic bottles, right?
Yes.
Medicinal tonic bottles are there. So each and the tonic bottles will be in the different shapes, right? So
yeah.
It doesn't mean that each and every tonic bottle will have a similar shape. So for example, Dr. Reddy's launches something. So that Dr. Reddy's tonic bottle will be in one shape, or else okay, Glenmark launches some product or any tonic. Okay, it's the shape will be the same way the tablet strips as well. Okay, or else the shape of that particular tablets as well. So now here thing is that okay, when you look into the bottle, the thing what attracts to our eye is that the shape of that particular bottle, right? So the thing which we can see with your eye, so which can be solely judged with our eye, okay. So that of that particular article is what protected under designs.
Okay.
So here we are not talking about the technical things. Okay, so what is the capacity of that bottle? Okay, so how the cap is fitted into that? Okay, so what is the mechanism involved in that cap? These are the things that we are not bothered at all. So we are only bothered about what is the shape of that bottle, right? So why this is very important in the market is that the shape of the bottles. For example, now you take automobile sectors, the shape of electric vehicles or the shape of the cars. Okay, so always the things that always attracts to our eye is the thing that will be more saleable in the market, right? So that is the reason why the R&D department will be keep on thinking about more unique designs to protect there. So when you protect that, so it will be protected till 15 years. So patent is protected for 20 years. So design is protected for 10 years plus 5 years you can extend it. So after that, after 15 years, so you cannot protect your design. Okay, so it is open to the public. At least till 15 years, that design is open to you. So no one can copy that particular design.
Okay, so it is like we have to think something with more advantage or some more benefit compared to the old designs. Then only it will be protected, or is it like anything that with a uniqueness it will be protected?
Like,
So
yeah, ma'am. Perfect, ma'am. Thing is that same like a patent. Okay, so novelty is very important even for the design. Nowhere else it should be available. So, but here the tricky thing is that okay. Now, let's take a design of a leaf. Okay, a leaf is designed imprinted on any cloth material, right? So this can be protected under design protections because any design that can go on any article is protected under design. So now the leaf-like structure is imprinted on one sari or else any shawl, etc. So it can be protected. It is capable to protect under design. It is protected. Now that the same leaf-like structure you want to come up with any one water bottle, okay, still you can protect that design as well because under that the class till now there is no design under leaf which is forming as a water bottle. So this is one tricky thing here.
Yeah, fine. Okay, sir, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. It was a very informative session and very interactive session, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much to the SVCA and also to your department and to all the participants. Thank you so much. And yes, you can get back to me at any point of time to my mail ID or contact number with related to any of the intellectual property right. So which even it is related to the publication of your patented a PhD related works or else of your articles, etc. or else a patent related to the grantings or FERs, etc. We can have an active discussions and then we can take it forward and contribute to your organizations as well. Thank you all. Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity.
Sir, lastly, I request Professor Naveen Kumar BM to propose vote of thanks.
A very good evening to one and all who are present here. It's my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this session. I, Naveen Kumar BM, on behalf of SVCE Management, Principal and IIC Cell SVCE, and on my own behalf, extend a very heartily vote of thanks to today's speaker, Mr. Gnanateja Bandi sir, giving insights on why IP is important in academia. So thank you, sir. It was a very informative session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I thank our respected Chairman Sri V. Muniappa sir and Honorable CED sir, Dr. Shashidhar Muniappa sir, for their gracings and support towards organizing this event. I thank our beloved Principal, Dr. Nageshwar Gupta sir, for his constant support and encouragement for the organizing this event. I also thank HODs of all departments, deans, and all my faculty friends for your presence and cooperation throughout the webinar. Thank you. I thank all my IIC team and NISP team members, including faculties and students for your teamwork on successful conduction of this webinar. I thank all the students and faculty members of various other institutes for your presence and interest throughout the event. Hope this event was very helpful for all the students and faculties gathered here. Thank you one and all. Over to Ramana sir.
Thank you, sir. Finally, I request all the participants to share your valuable feedback. I have posted the feedback link in the chat box. Kindly share the feedback. If the feedback link is not accessible, maybe for the participants who are joining from outside the institution, they may face problem with accessing the feedback. I'll be presenting the feedback link here. Kindly copy the feedback link and share your valuable feedback. I hope everyone copied the feedback link and they're submitting. Finally, I thank all the participants for your time to attend the webinar. And finally, I thank you so much, sir, Gyanateja sir, for your time and sharing the knowledge in this session. Thank you so much. So with this,
can I end the meeting?
Yes, madam. With this, we'll end the meeting. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, Gyanateja sir, once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.